Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I'm Rashana Levin, Realtor with KW United. Today I'm going to talk about the Maryland Association of Realtors buyer agreement and how it's going to impact you moving forward. Let's get started.
Okay, so we are on the first two pages of the exclusive buyer tenant residential brokerage agreement. So I will briefly explain the different sections. So the sections will be called paragraphs. So first you have the date, then you have the buyer information. So this would be the mailing address, if you have an office number, home phone, email address, etc. So that's all the buyers that will be purchasing the house. So then next, this would be your brokerage information. So if you hire me, that will be my brokerage information. If you hire someone else, it will be theirs. It will have the office information, who the buyer's agent is, their direct line of communication. And then paragraph 3 is the authorization. So what is the purpose of this agreement? So are you going to be a tenant in this instance, or are you going to be a buyer? Then the next paragraph is paragraph 4. So this is the agency terms, rights for the parties, expiration date. So this agreement is based on effective when. So you could have the agreement say it's today. The day that I'm creating this video is on November 14th, but the agreement doesn't start, say, till tomorrow. So from the 15th of November until March 15th of 2025. So that gives you kind of an idea. The date of the agreement may not necessarily be the actual date on the form. So the date at the top might not match. And then it will be the paragraph underneath is the terms for termination. How can you get out of the agreement? So that's something that you would have to discuss with the agent at that time. So moving on to page 2. So this is fair housing. So all agreements have to abide by the federal, state, and local fair housing laws that grant protections on the following classes. And paragraph 6, buyer responsibilities and notices regarding coming soon listings. So this is subparagraphs A through E, different items there. As paragraph 7 is broker responsibilities. So the broker responsibility is to locate real estate property. I mean, that's the job. That's why you hire the agent. Paragraph B is to assist the buyer throughout the whole transaction from beginning to end, handle hurdles, find solutions. And C, represent the buyer's interests. Represent the buyer's interests of the buyer in all negotiation and transactions of the acquisition of real property. Paragraph 8, so broker compensation. So notice, real estate commission rates are not fixed by law or established by any membership organization with which broker is affiliated. Each real estate brokerage independently sets their own compensation rates. So this is important to know. So commission rates are negotiable between the buyer and the broker. So you have several paragraphs. So paragraph A of paragraph 8 is compensation is to be paid by the buyer, subject to paragraph 8B. In the event of sale or lease, the compensation to be paid by buyer to the broker shall be of the following. So compensation can be a percentage, it can be a fixed amount, it can be a combination between a percentage or a fixed amount together. So that's that. And then it also says, the paragraph underneath, when is compensation still going to be earned after a certain time period. So let's move on to page 3. So paragraph B of 8, so compensation paid by a listing broker or seller. So this is a whole paragraph on that. And then, so property listed in the MLS. So as of August, no compensation may be printed in the MLS, so it's not known. All agents have to find out what the compensation is. Moving on to page 4, Disclaimer and limitations. So the limitations on broker's ability, a broker is not an attorney, they're not a tax advisor, they're not a lender, they're not an appraiser. They can recommend these particular professionals to assist, but they may not offer that as advice. Representation of other buyers, paragraph C, subsequent offers, ministerial acts, confidentiality of offers. Paragraph 10, intra-company agent representation, talks about that. Paragraph 11, flood disclosure notice. So it's important that you know whether a property is in a flood zone, because that could impact your qualifying, and also whether the property is going to be insurable or not. And so they actually have a website here. So mdfloodmaps.net. Paragraph 12, repairs of the property. Buyer is hereby notified that repairs of the property may be required, that individuals engaged to perform repairs by duly licensed. So all repairs need to be by a licensed professional, which that's for the seller. Paragraph 13. So this is legal construction. So it talks about that. And that is it. So paragraph 14 is additional addendum. Well, it says addenda, which is also addendum. You could also have consent for dual agency, disclosure for licensee status addendum. And if the person that you're working with is on a team, they actually have to disclose that. And if it's in other special conditions, that will be lined there. And then you would sign. If you're purchasing with someone else, they would sign underneath you or above you. Didn't matter. Depends on who names needs to be first. And then the brokerage name, and then the broker would sign. And that is all for today's video. If you are interested in buying a home, you can quickly scan this QR code here. And I'm Rashawn11, Realtor with KW United. If you would like to give me a call at 240-284-41